Let me make sure my chat good. Make sure we straight, man. Contender regime boxing. Checking back in with y'all, man. What's good? We got Oshaki Foster versus Abraham Nova. Immediate post-fight reaction. 12th round just ended. Oshaki Foster gets a knockdown. A very much needed knockdown. I think he was okay even without the knockdown, but this was a very competitive and close fight throughout. A very hard fight to score, especially the first 5 or 6 rounds. Very hard fight to score. Make sure y'all hit that like button as you slide through. I appreciate it. Man, this was a really good fight, man. Very technical. Shout out to the OG Mr. Munt in the building. What's good, man? I appreciate you for pulling up. You know, we ain't been live in a little minute. We ain't been as consistent with the lives. You know, we just got back right. You know what I mean? Shout out to YouTube, man. We just got back right, man. But it's good to see y'all boys in here, man. Make sure y'all hit that like button as you slide through. I appreciate you. You feel me? If you new, make sure you go ahead and subscribe. Shout out to my brother, Goat YouTubian in the building. What's happening, man? What's good? Man, this was a really good fight. I'm waiting on the scorecards. I'm gonna tell y'all what I got it right now, man. I got before the knockdown going into the 12th. Very hard fight to score. They was trading rounds early on. First 5 or 6 rounds, they was trading rounds. Going into the 12th, I say, man, I might have had it. That's tough. That's tough. That's tough. I might have had Oshaki Foster up a round or two. Maybe a round going into the 12th. And then with that knockdown, I think that just solidified the fight for Oshaki Foster. I think that solidified the fight. I thought Abraham Nova did a good job early on, man, of using his jab and then letting punches off when Oshaki Foster was a little bit stagnant. It seemed like Foster was more focused on countering and capitalizing on the mistakes of Nova in this fight, which, as you can see later on in the fight, it paid dividends. But early on, him being stagnant like that allowed Nova to kind of get a rhythm and, stay competitive in the fight. Even though me personally, I feel like Oshaki Foster was the overall more skilled fighter. But you could tell that Abraham Nova really wanted it. He was locked in. Shout out to the brother Light Skin Business in the building. Was good. You can tell that OG Mr. Munn said 7-5 Foster. I like it. I like it. I like that. You could tell that Abraham Nova, he was locked in. He wanted it, man. And shout out to the brother Kano Loco Sports. Y'all know Kano Loco, man. A couple of years ago, I was on Kano Loco's channel, and he had Abraham Nova. Y'all know Kano Loco is Puerto Rican, always supporting a Puerto Rican fighter. Shout out to Puerto Rico, and Abraham Nova being, a fellow Puerto Rican fighter. You dig what I'm saying? And, he had him on the show. I was able to, chop it up with him, man, and ask him some questions. Real cool guy. You feel me? And he talked, this was before he lost to Robisi Ramirez. You know what I'm saying? So he was hungry back then, and you could tell that, especially after that loss to Ramirez, he came into this fight for his first title fight. He was locked in, and he gave it his all. Tim Bradley spoke to it as well later on in the fight, how even when he was fatigued and tired, he was fighting off of pure fumes and heart. And I love what his trainer said right before the 12th round in the corner, man. He said, hey, remember about them nights you had to sleep on the floor. Remember about that time you had to spend away from your family. Remember how bad you want this shit. And you could tell that Nova really wanted it, man. But I think Oshaki Foster was the overall just more skilled fighter. And that knockdown in the 12th is what solidified it. Good left hand. It wasn't crazy, but Nova was just so depleted from an energy perspective. Of course, he had been taking some punishment. Both guys are taking some decent shots in this fight. 88 punches landed for Foster, 74 punches landed for Nova. Foster landed 39% to Nova's 22%. Foster was more economical and more accurate. And shout out to my brother D from No Excuses podcast is Levels Boxing. He thought that Osaki Foster should have stayed southpaw. He was having more success. I agree, but he kept shaking his right hand. I think something might have been wrong with his right hand. He kept shaking that motherfucker. Y'all know how Leo Santa Cruz be doing, how he be shaking his hand and shit. He was shaking his hand, so I think his right hand might have been hurt. That's why he switched back to orthodox. They finna get a score, y'all. Okay, 116, 112. Ooh. Foster with the knockdown. Osaki Foster retains his WBC super featherweight title. Shout out to Orange, Texas. Shout out to Houston, Texas. Shout out to Texas in general. You know what I'm saying? Up there in New York, where Abraham Nova is from. You feel me? As the champion, fighting in the challenger's home state. That's what's up, man. That's what's up. Good victory for Osaki Foster. I would like to see Foster get in there with what's the old boy named Joe Cordina. I would like to see him fight Lamont Roach. You know, Lamont Roach just coming off a good win. For Abraham Nova, man, I feel like he need to move up. Said Osaki need to tighten up a little. I agree. I don't know if in this fight he was kind of. I don't know if he was just like. I wouldn't even say he was fighting off emotion because he was very like economical and he didn't get overzealous. But I think he could be a lot sharper. Shout out to my brother Devin Block in the building. What's good? I think Foster can be a lot sharper. But I like his game. I really loved what he showed on the inside. The craftiness on the inside. There were times later on in the fight, and a lot of people overlook this. A lot of people overlook the work that's being done in the trenches. Shout out to my brother Jay Harris, Too Real in the building. What's good, man? What's good? I told you we was going to get the lives back popping. Jay Harris, Too Real. I told you, man. We just had to get some shit figured out, but we good. But a lot of people overlook the work that's being done on the inside. And Osaki Foster, when they tussling around and jockeying for positioning and, you know, using forearms and elbows for leverage and positioning and shit like that, Osaki Foster is sneaking in like sneaky ass shots. You know what I'm saying? Like he's sneaking in shots to the body. He's sneaking in shots like you can see Nova's head snapping from this way to that way. Like he's sneaking shots in. That might not look like much to the viewing public. The judges see it, of course. They sit ringside. Shout out to the brother A-Wavy09 in the building. That might not look like much to the untrained eye, but if you know what you watching, and if you actually in the ring, go ask Abraham Nova. Ask him what that shit felt like when they in close quarters like that, and it don't look like much going on, but whole time Osaki Foster done snuck in like three or four sneaky ass shots to the body and to the head. That shit take a toll on you. You know what I'm saying? It pays to be crafty on the inside. It pays to be willing to get down and dirty, man, and get in the trenches. Because when you get late in a fight, especially in a championship fight that's 12 rounds, and you got those championship rounds and motherfuckers get tired, that fatigue start to set in, and now y'all getting a little closer, y'all start, tussling and wrestling a little bit and shit. That's where that craftiness come into play. You know what I'm saying? Being able to get those sneaky shots off on the inside, man. That was a really good fight. I was very pleased with what I saw from both fighters. I think Abraham Nova need to move up, man. You 5'9", you a big guy. You 130, bro. You gotta move up, bro. You gotta move up, bro. You gotta move up, bro. I want to see Abraham Nova go to 135. I want to see Abraham Nova go to 135, bro. Like, you got to move. I felt like Abraham Nova should have moved up 2 years ago, if we being honest. I feel like he should have moved up 2 years ago. For O'Shaquie Foster, I like where he at. I think he can have a really good run at 130 as a champion. I think he can unify. There's some really good fights out there. Like I said, I would love to see O'Shaquie Foster versus Lamont Roach. Good fight. I would love to see him versus Joe Cordina. You know what I'm saying? I would have loved the Navarrete fight, but it looks like he's moving up to 135 and getting him a title shot. So, who I don't know if he'll, even come back down to 130. But man, there's some good fights at 130. It's some real good fights. It's some real good fights. Said, do you think Foster hurt his hand or was it from Nova's elbow? That's a good ass question, bro. It might have been, he might have hurt his hand on the elbow. You know what I'm saying? Because Nova was doing a lot of like posting and using his elbow as a shield. And Foster, like I said, on the inside, he throwing them crafty shots. Maybe he hit his hand on his elbow and he fucked it up. But I think like mid fight, he started shaking his right hand. So I think there was something wrong with it, bro, because he was having so much success fighting southpaw that the only thing that makes sense to me on why he switched back to orthodox is something had to be wrong with his right hand. You know what I mean? Something had to be wrong with his right hand. That's why he switched back and put the left hand out in the lead. You dig what I'm saying? But I ain't gonna hold y'all too much, man. I just wanted to give y'all my immediate post-fight reaction, man. I hope y'all enjoy y'all Friday. Shout out to Shoo Carrington. He had a great performance. Tiger Johnson, I believe he fought tonight. I missed him though. I didn't get a chance to see Tiger live. Shout out to them boys. I feel like Top Rank for real. Got like the coldest youngins in the game right now. When you think about Shoo, Jared Anderson, Abdullah Mason, Keyshawn Davis, Tiger Johnson. You dig what I'm saying? They got some guys. Top Rank got some young guys over there right now, man. But hey, look, if you came in late, make sure you run it back. If you didn't hit the like button, go and hit that like button. If you hit the like button already, I appreciate you, man. Salute to y'all, man. Contender Regime Boxing. I holla at y'all.